this down. Ready? Here we go. It's complicated. I mean, once they start replacing numbers with letters, I'm out. But again, this is where the right tool comes in. We put this equation into a filter search. That filter search helps us see that this company, though trading at 23, is actually worth 51, and that gives us that margin of safety. If you look at this company, we got to go back to step number 1. We got to make sure it's a healthy business. 14 out of 20, check. And just based on those two pieces of information, we see that this company runs from $23 up to $55. That is a good trade. Having the right knowledge, being able to take action with the right tools. Same is true on the other side. Here's GM. Actual price is $54. Projected value is only $11. Wait, why? So, not a healthy business, not on sale, and you look at this chart and see where it goes. This thing started at 54, it drops to $11. Ouch. But not me. I'm an options trader. You guys know why I like trading options? Because they give me options. Settling for an 80% loss, or better yet, not getting into it all. Guys, those are just hacks number 1 and number 2. I told you the third hack is the most important. You're going to want to pay attention to this one. Timing is important. But in order to do that, we have to ask this question. We got to start with why. Why do prices go up and go down? Well, the answer is a biblical principle. First mentioned, book of Exodus. It's this idea of supply and demand. That's what we're going to get into. But when we understand that, we got to ask, wait, what's causing this? Well, it's not you and I who move the market. We don't with our small orders. I remember when I first ordered Google, called my broker and I ordered 3 shares. I said, call me for 3 shares? We don't move the market. We don't have big orders. You know who moves the markets? Banks and institutions, the big banks. They're putting in 1 million shares, 10 million shares. And this creates incredible supply and demand. So we need to think and act like the institutions. We don't want to take them on. We want to go with them. And so we follow these institutional orders. Because the institutional orders represent what I'm going to teach you guys here, a core component to what makes the market turn up and down. And that is a biblical principle. That's the principle of supply and demand. When there's tremendous demand, price goes up. When these institutions dump all their shares on the market, they get out. Tremendous supply, price goes down. I told you it was a biblical principle, didn't I? Book of Exodus, right? Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dream and says, hey, for 7 years, you're going to have plenty. Don't sell all that supply. Keep it. Because after that, 7 years later, you're going to have famine. There will be tremendous demand. And the world will come to you to buy. That's what brought Joseph's family down. That's what put the Israelites in Egypt. This is supply and demand. These are the 2 most important components to trading, supply and demand. Now, I asked you this question before. Visual learners. Let's look at this visually. Okay? We got demand on the right. We got supply on the left. And of course, price is in the middle. And as demand increases, price oftentimes rises. Rises. You guys have experienced this. Who remembers 2020? What happened then? COVID. You're like, don't remind me. We had tremendous demand supply issues in COVID, but nothing more acutely than what? Toilet paper. You knew the answer to that. You're like, toilet paper. Were we not freaking out about toilet paper? Like, what are we going to do with our wiping choices? Right? People are beating folks up in the aisle for the last roll of Charmin. We're freaking out. And price starts at $6.50, and after enough black eyes and bloody noses, it moves up to $10.40. You see? And it's not just here in the States, it was all over the world. I told you I played all over the world. Friends in Spain were like, man, we're up 82%. In Australia, you know, if you wipe it flushes backwards, 100%. In Italy, 140%. Like, what are you wiping yourself with? Renaissance art? Like, that's gotta be comfortable. I mean, this is supply and demand. It makes an impact. And this is our system. This is what we use. We follow the institutional orders because here's the thing. They are good at what they do. Goldman Sachs makes $100 million a day trade. They know what they're doing. And they're not going to tell you what they're doing, but they can't hide it. They leave footprints. Like these size 16s in the snow in New Hampshire, here in Minnesota. I don't hide anywhere, okay? Hide and seek is not my game. And they can't hide it when you know what to look for. And I'm going to show you something Bill and Pat showed you. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. I'm going to show you a price chart. You guys ready to see it? Here it is. We see price come down to this level, and then it bounces from that level. That's because the institutions are sending it higher. Remember before when Peter Lynch said we had numerous advantages? This is one of them. You see, they put in this massive order. It sends price higher, but likely doesn't all get filled. So we know where they're buying it from. We see where they're buying it, and we know where they're buying it from, and we use that to our advantage. You guys ready to practice the right things the right way? Here we go. Let's take a look at this chart. Here we have demand. When we look at the chart, we draw the demand zone. This is where price moves higher from. And it's the demand that we buy. Price goes up to this other area where it drops from. That's the supply zone. At supply, we sell. At demand, we buy. At supply, we sell. Say with me. At demand, we? You guys need to do that. At demand, we? Okay. It goes up to supply where it drops. At supply, we? Okay. This is where the institutions are buying. We want to follow in their footsteps. This is where we're buying. And then we wait for price to go back up to supply, and that's where we sell. You see this system, friends? There's boundaries. There's blessings in the boundaries. Isn't the same for us with God? Isn't Israelites in the desert learning how to be God's people, getting the 10 Commandments, understanding how He made them? You guys ever seen that Far Side cartoon where that goldfish jumps out of the fishbowl and says, "I'm free"? Why is that funny? It's going to die. There's blessings in His boundaries. And we have to have a system that has the same component, the same aspect, blessing in the boundaries here. So let's practice this one more time. We look at the chart, we draw demand, we draw supply, and then we wait. Warren Buffett said that the market is patient people taking money from impatient people. Isn't patience a fruit of the Spirit? You gotta be patient. You gotta wait. It's a lot like hunting. Maybe hunters here like to hunt. Down in Florida, we hunt hogs. And when I go hunting with my boys, I'll tell you what I don't do. I don't load up the AK-47s and go, "Gah, gah, 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 gah." Like, that's not hunting. I'm in a tree stand, I'm in a ground blind. I know what I'm looking for. I'm waiting for it to come where it's supposed to be. Safe shot, pull the trigger. Patience, waiting. And when price comes down to demand and it hits demand, at demand, what do? At demand, you got it. And then we wait. And it's supposed to go up to supply, and at supply, that's it. It's not that complicated. Here's the thing, we're complicated. It's not just this, it's this. We're made in the image of God, head, heart, and hands, right? How often do we know what to do? The emotions just take us out. But when you have a system and a plan, you can follow them. It reduces the fear. So let's take a look at this one more time, just to review. We identify within the boundaries, within the system, where to buy and where to sell. And we need to think about ourselves, not as taking on Wall Street, because there's sharks on Wall Street. Right? I don't want to go against the best. I want to play with the best. I want Anthony Edwards on my team. Right? I don't want to play against that guy. We need to go with Wall Street, follow the institutional orders. Think of yourself as a remora fish. Sharks are swimming along, you're just stuck on the bottom, right? Takes down a whale, hey, I'll take a piece. So the remora fish, this is how we think about ourselves. By using the simple strategy of supply and demand. Buy at demand, sell at supply. Let's practice this really quick, just to make sure you guys got it. Here's a picture of Microsoft. We look to the lower left. We see that this has a price that runs up from there. We draw the demand zone. Price goes up. We wait for it to come down to demand. At demand, guys are falling asleep on me here. We're going to have lunch in a second, I promise. At demand, you got it. And then we wait. It goes up to supply. At supply, we sell. That was, what was that? 78%. Now you start to see the market's 12%. You start to understand the value of the skill set? Or if we miss it, we just wait some more. We find the next demand zone. We buy it up here. We sell at supply at 24%. Still a great trade. Here's the next one. I want to teach you a very important lesson here because this is essential. Lululemon, stretch your pants. We draw the chart. We see demand. And demand we buy goes up to supply. Supply we sell. And this is a very important lesson. Listen up. Price comes back down to demand. Now, when you're the trader, you're the investor, you are the boss. These trades are your employees. Your employees have expectations. Show up on time. Be nice to customers. Don't steal from them. And if they don't meet their expectations, what do? You fire them. She said it real quick. Fire them. Right? And that's hard with people because we love them and want the best for them. These are not people. They don't care about you. If they don't do what they're supposed to do, you fire them. You see, when I'm putting on a trade, I think about it like this. This is my money. I'm putting it out there to do a job. I want it to come back with more money. If it doesn't do its job, what do? I reassign it. Because Bill taught me this. If we don't learn how to have this work to make this, we're always just going to be working for this. And this is how we learn. This is how we do it. This is us being a boss and saying, if it breaks this level, we sell, we get out. Lose small, win big. We can just put a stop loss in there. We don't have to be there to execute. It just takes us out, protects us. Let's look at this next one. GLD, gold. Same deal. Price runs up, we wait, it comes down to demand. And demand, you got it. It goes up to supply, we 51%. Here's the last one, last example. NVIDIA. Who this thing's been hard. Same plan, same process, same procedure. We see the demand zone, we draw demand. Demand we buy, price goes up to supply we sell. 38% in 3 weeks. 12% from the market in a year. You're starting to see having a skill set with a system and a plan, keeping it simple and protecting ourselves. All right, let's bring all of this together. Let's bring all 3 investment hacks together. They're calling this the ultimate filter search. Now, I told you when I hear certain words in my head, there's an accent, and Arnold just comes in here. It's like, come on, it's the ultimate filter search. Do it. Price come down to the man. Come. I'm waiting. I told you, I don't know what's going on. So we asked this question, is it a healthy business? Yes, it's a 14 out of 20. Are we getting it at a margin of safety? Yes, check. Now let's look at the chart. We draw the zone drawing tool. Price goes up, it comes back down. We can put an order in there, waiting for it, just to pick it up. At demand we buy, goes up to supply we sell. Okay? That's it. And if you would have done that with these 3 names, we'd have seen 64% on Lululemon, 57% on Amazon, and 89% on NVIDIA. Isn't that pretty awesome? But here's the thing, there are losses that happen in the market. I just showed you 3 that worked. Losses happen. We keep our losses small. We let our winners run. Now, I want to do something with you guys. I'm not sure I told you this already, but when I was a kid, I wanted to be a game show host. Who loved Bob Barker when you guys were growing up? Yeah? A slick back hair and the long thin microphone. Like, come on down. So I'd like to take 3 volunteers to demonstrate this. Right? Our team's going to pick you out. We're going to bring you up here, and we're going to walk through this so that we can do it in a small amount of time. You guys can recognize how simplified the system is, using the right tools, doing the right things the right way. So our team is going to pick 3 people to come up here, and we're going to do this together. Again, as a basketball player, it's not just reading and learning from a book. You got to practice this. So I want to show 3 regular folks, right, that you can do this. I want you guys to demonstrate that too. But here's what I need from you guys, crowd. All right? Number 1, as they come up, they're going to be nervous. So when they come on stage, I need you to give them like that welcome, right? We're going to do it in just a second, right? But secondly, you're going to need your help. So I'm asking them questions you can shout out to, all right? So we got one, we don't have all 3 yet. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a hypothetical $100,000 in the account, all right? And then we're going to have 4 trades, and they're going to make the trades. And we're going to decide how it goes, all right? Now, our 3 contestants, let's give them a round of applause. All right, come over here if you will. Great, good stuff. All right, I'll take the microphone if you don't mind for just a second. What's your name? Anna. Anna. Some applause for Anna. Anna, Pa. Applause for Pa. Anna and Tim. Let's give Tim a round of applause. All right, I'm going to back to you, Anna. You guys clump together, if you will. We're going to look at this screen right here. We're going to look at 4 charts. Were you guys paying attention before? Okay, good. You see, we're at demand we buy. Very good. You're in. They're in. At supply we. Great. So we're going to look at 4 charts right here in this monitor, and I'm going to ask you what to do when you see the price move. Okay. Now, you guys need to help them out. All right. It's like a little cheat sheet. So let's go to our first practice one. We see this price goes up to demand, comes down, right down to demand zone. At demand we. All right, good. Shout out. You should be game. It's good. And then up a supply we. Very good. All right. You ready? Game's already started. Deep breath. Are you nervous? Yes. Have you worked for Goldman Sachs? No. You ever traded before? No. Okay. All right. Good. We're good. Let's look at this first chart. It's just a blank chart. Before today, you wouldn't know what that means. Now the first step is we draw out the demand zone. We draw out the supply zone. And then we wait. Okay? And now let's watch. Let's see what happens next. Okay, it comes down here. What do we do here? All 3 of them in unison, like a church choir. I love it. Hey, good, you bought it. Let's see what it does from here. We buy demand. It goes up to supply. Oh, what do we do here? Oh, we're quick with that. Well done. Let's give them a round of applause on that first one. 1 for 1. Good job. So you get trickier from here. All right, let's look at this next one. We sold at supply. Here's the thing. Price kept going. We don't get greedy. We stay in the boundaries. There's the blessings. Tim's like, not me. I'm good. I made my money. I'm good. All right, let's look at this next one. It's 55%, by the way, on Microsoft. Here you go. Verizon. Maybe some of you guys pay this bill every month. All right, so what is the first thing we do? We draw out demand. We draw out supply. We have our zone. And then we wait. And then let's see what happens next with price. Price comes out. What do we do here? We're so fast. All right. And then we wait. We see what happens next. We buy demand. Where does price go? Oh, goes lower. Breaks the bottom. You're the bosses. What do you do when it breaks? Sell. You get out. Right? You're the bosses. You're fired. So what happens here? Yeah, it just keeps going lower. This was a 2.7% loss. All right, so you're 1 for 2. Let's go to the next one. Let's see how you do here. STLA. First thing we do, draw out with our tools, supply and demand. All right, we see the demand zone, we see the supply zone. Price is in the middle, and we wait. Let's see what happens next. Price comes down. What do we do here? Anna's so on it. She's just calm. Buying right here. Yes, you got it. And then let's see what happens next. You bought a demand. It can do whatever it wants. Oh, what do we do here now? It broke below demand. She's trying to get out. She's like, get out. Hatch. Right? Yes, you sell. Another sell. Okay, it's another loss. That's all right. We kept the loss small. 5% loss here on STLA. All right, here's the last one, 4th quarter. Feeling good? You ready? We've had a couple losses. That's all right. It might get into our head. Here we go. Here's our last one. GLD, gold. First things we do, draw out demand, draw out supply. Price is in the middle, and then we wait. Price comes down to demand. What do we do here? In unison. I love it. What do we do here? We buy. And then we wait. And let's see where it goes. Price up in supply. What do we do here? Sell. You're out. That was your 4th trade. Good job. Guess what? 41% on gold. Let's give them a round of applause. I'm so impressed. Yeah. We had 2 wins and 2 losses. How do you think you did? Tim said we made more than we lost. Oh man, you got it. You got it. Let's look at the account. Let's see how it did. 2 wins, 55%, 51%, 2 losses. Keep our losses small, let our winners run. And let's see how this stacks up. Right? 50% win ratio, only half of them. But at the end of the day, this hypothetical $100,000 account was up 67%. You guys did a great job. So if someone was like, let's go. I felt like we did such a good job. We need to do something for you guys. And I wish I was Bob Barker, like, a new car. We can't bring that out up here. But we should do something. What should we give them for doing so well here in our game show? Someone said lunch. No. We're hungry. I heard someone say the education. How about the education? I told you guys we have a 3-day class for this. How would you guys like to receive the education and the tools and the software so you can do this for yourself? That'd be awesome. I'm just like, where do I sign? Let's do it. I'll tell you what. I told you before that I took a class for $2,000. Someone from my church scholarshiped me into that class. Right? So I'm going to scholarship you 3 into that class, 3-day class. You're going to use the software and the library, and that's not it. But wait, there's more, right? It's for you and your spouse, right? To include you and your spouse. Tim right away looked at his wife like, I know, honey, I know, good. Right, you guys did awesome. Thanks so much. I'm so impressed with you all. Well done. You were nervous, you nailed it. They're gonna take care of you guys right here off stage. Thanks so much for bringing that. Hey, was that fun? Did you guys enjoy the game show? More importantly, did you learn something here today? Raise your hand if you learned something here today. Awesome. I mean, we walked 3 novices through this in a few minutes, and they were able to identify where to buy and where to sell. How many of you guys feel like you now have what it takes to be able to go and take this knowledge and be able to make money in the markets on your own and not have to pay those fees? Raise your hand if you're with me on that one. I love it. I love seeing it. Now, I told you before, we have a 3-day class. What if we were to create this space that nobody else is creating, not in the churches, not in the schools, to make sure that you have the education that you need to take hold of your financial future, to be good stewards? If we were to offer something like that, by raising your hands, how many of you would seriously consider being a part of a class like that? Let me see your hands. Let me see them high. Now hold them up for me. Hold them up. Look around. That's a lot of us. That's a lot of us. So let me tell you, that's exactly what we're doing here in the Minneapolis area over the next 3 weeks. It's called Trade Surge. Trade Surge. Now, you don't need to write these things down, right? We're going to be able to give you time here in just a moment. But in these 3 classes, 3 full days of classes, right, with education and with the library. Now, let me tell you about how this class works. I'm going to bring out our team here to make sure in just a moment you guys can get enrolled in this if that's what you would like to do for you and your family. But I want to walk you through this opportunity and what it all includes. First, 3 full days of education. We've flat our top instructors who know the market and who know Jesus. People just like me who get to walk you through this process. And friends, we're not just talking about trading. We're talking about options. We're talking about crypto. We want to make sure you have the knowledge that you need to be successful in the markets. In addition to that, there is a trading video library. This integrates into our software so you guys can make a plan. Right, so you can learn what you need to know and make a plan for your future. And then ultimately, that same zone drawing tool and that software is included in this as well. Now, I told you before that somebody scholarship me into going to a class like this, $2,000. What if I got out my wallet and scholarshiped all of you, just like these students, into this same class? You get the class and the software for a full scholarship. Raise your hand if you'd be excited about that. All right. Well, that's not going to happen. There's too many of you, right? And there's limited seats in these classes. But you see, the founder of LifeSearch, Joe Johnson, said, hey, we don't want to have tuition be a barrier of entry. If we want to make an impact here in Minneapolis, and we want to make an impact here in Minneapolis. And so Joe Johnson said this. He said, we are going to take this, and that investment website tool that's typically $49 a month for the data feed, he's going to waive that. The trading video library that integrates in the software to get you prepared before the class. Again, $49 a month for that. He's going to waive that as well. And this 3 full days of education with like-minded believers to get you on the path, to help you find success in the markets. He's lowered this to the lowest amount that he has ever lowered it to all across this country. You're going to be able to enroll in this 3-day class for a whopping $97. $97. And here's the thing. You can take the class and then decide. If you go and it's not for you, tell them and they'll give you all your money back. How's that for risk-free? And this class is not just for you. This $97 covers you and your spouse. If you want to bring your spouse, no additional costs. What do you do if you don't have a spouse? Go get one. Don't do that. That's not a good reason to get a spouse. No. But when you guys, in just a moment, I'm going to release you down to these tables. And there's tables all over the arena. They're up in the mezzanines and the concourse tables. These folks are going to help you guys out. When I release you to the tables here in just a moment, they're going to hand you a swag bag. Someone hold up a swag bag so you can see that. Great. Now, in that swag bag is going to be LifeSearch swag. There's also going to be a card with a QR code. So you can scan that. You can start using these tools today. Get access to this library today to get prepared for this class. In that bag will also be this book, right? WealthSurge by the Benham brothers. I recommend chapter 4. It's a great view on biblical wealth. Okay? So all of that. Now again, in just a moment, I'm going to release you guys here. All of this included for $97. Like I said, I'm going to release you in just a moment. I'm going to tell you, now's the time. You guys can stand up and come to these tables. If you're up in the sides, you can come down to the floor to these tables. Here's one more thing I want to tell you, right? For those who take action today, because I said the seats are limited in this, for 100 of you who stand up and come to these tables, you're going to get a chance to take a photo with Nick Vujicic, my good friend. Okay, now I know it's going to be crazy here in a second, so we know you want to already come up to the tables. That's fine. I told you to release you in a minute, friends. Now is the time. Now is the time for you to come down to the tables, in the concourse, in the mezzanine. If you want this education, if you want to take a step into your future, to get educated, to be able to be the people that create these resources to make an impact for the kingdom, now is your time. And I pray and hope that you don't wait, because we never know how much more time we have. I've been grateful to be with you. I see a lot of people come to the tables. Let's make sure. We're going to give you the folder. You're going to sign it electrically. And here's the thing. The first person that comes to me and brings me their yellow sheet of a receipt, I'm going to give you this basketball signed by Nick Vujicic with his mouth, because I want to reward the action takers here today. Friends, don't wait. Now is your time. All right, I'll have one more at the meeting afterwards. We're going to do a meet and greet. It has been a blessing to be with you. Last thing I'll tell you is this. Nothing will work unless you do. That's what John Wooden says. So please, come forward. Take that next step into your future. I appreciate you guys. It's been a blessing to be with you. Minneapolis, God bless you, and thank you. It's a joy to be with you.
Please cheer to everybody. Okay. Hey, we're going to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to sign up. For all of you right here in the aisle, our team has clipboards. We're going to make sure we have some tables right back here as well, and some tables on the concourse where our team can help make sure everybody gets an opportunity to sign up, all right? Like you said, you have the opportunity to bring someone with you, which is really cool, and there's some dates on there. If for some reason you don't know which date works best for you, that's okay. We'll work with you. Our team will help you find the date that works best. Now, we're going to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to sign up here over the next few minutes, all right? If you're a clipboard, we have some teams walking through the aisles. So get you clipboard right there. Kind of waving your hands and get you guys. And we'll be back here in just a few minutes with our next steps and lunch instructions. Thanks, y'all. Great start.